It's Friday, April 26th. We're pretty much hours away from day 2 of the NFL Draft 2024. And yeah, we had night 1 last night, or day 1, however you want to look at that. As you obviously see here, we yeah, I don't think that I need to go out on a limb here. I'm pretty confident it's just stating the obvious at this point. This was easily shocker of the night here. I mean, and even look, you got these gentlemen's faces right here. I mean, it's like, geez, and if that ain't enough for you, I mean, man, you know, get a load of this first and foremost, especially my man's face right here. I mean, I honestly feel like that right there just says it all. I mean, I just want to zoom it in even more because, good God, how can you not? I mean, as funny as it may be, it's just wild looking at it this way. But, man, you know, I just... I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty much still feeling the same way about it, and it was like, I don't want to say my heart sank or anything like that, because I'm sorry, and as you saw with my video yesterday, that is, if any of you saw it, we'll just leave that for what that may be. But no, if you saw my video yesterday, I mean, I just feel like this whole notion of being hung up on needing a quarterback so bad that you were just gonna forgo all the other issues that your team has, you're just gonna pick them up. I mean, I'll get into the nuances of that as I go along. In fact, there are aspects of that I'll talk about in a separate video. But that's neither here nor there. I just feel like it's kind of wild to me that this is the case. I mean, hell, at one point I thought we were going to go from potentially seeing, that right there, that, I just see that's how bad this is, this right here I thought was what we were going to be getting, I just, I thought that's, I was honestly hoping for that, and at a reasonable point in the draft, more or less, but now we're, oops, I didn't want to go with that one. Now we're actually going to be going from that to getting this. We're getting this, which, good for Falcons fans. I mean, I was on that bandwagon at one time. I mean, not so much now. We got Coach Prime out here in Boulder, so, not such a big deal anymore, and I've pretty much long since grown out of that, and 28-3 definitely helped with that, but that's also a whole other story for another time. Moreover, what about this guy? Yeah. What about this guy right here, Didn't they sign him to a really big contract? I mean, they even got a bunch of pictures up with it. Oh man. I mean, I'm honestly at a loss right now over this. And if for no other reason, it's just the fact that it just blows my mind that this is literally where we're at with all this. I don't understand it, and even more to that point just now about Kirk Cousins. I mean, look at him. Look at him throwing out the first pitch at the Braves game. He looks happy as hell. He looked happy in the press conference. I mean, I'm failing to understand, how did we get here with this? And this is another thing about this for me, is much like the Broncos, much like quite a few other teams, there are several other needs, that I feel like could be addressed here that are going to go a long way to your overall long-term success. I've been saying for quite a while, and I'm going to save a lot of this for my Broncos talk, which is going to be coming next year. But I've been saying for a while, for the Broncos, front seven, to me, is the ultimate priority. Especially because, again, you just had the Broncos pick up the fifth-year option on Patrick Surtain. What's going to be around him aside from what we had? And that's not to take anything away. There were guys that had pretty damn good performances, some even great, but they weren't sustained. I'm looking at this here. This is one classic example. What are they doing to sustain this in Atlanta? I'm thinking about this as if I were still rooting for them. Because, defensively they've made improvements, but I feel like there are definitely some things they need to add to that. They got a couple of good targets with Drake London and Kyle Pitts, of course Bijan Robinson out of the backfield, but you could have added to that. You could have added to your secondary. Just so many areas that you could have addressed. Not that this wasn't needed, but again, why the fuck would you sign a Kirk Cousins at that point? Honestly, why? I just can't understand the way, and this is what's even wilder to me because, when the time had came, it was between Terry Fontenot, obviously George Payton, and a handful of other candidates when the Broncos GM position was open, and I actually wanted Fontenot especially over Payton, and I think we've had obvious reasons as to why that is. But I see this now, I'm like, damn, we're not really missing out anymore, are we? What the fuck are we doing, man? What the fuck are we doing? And if you think this is bad now, again, wait till I get to the Broncos talk I'm going to get into here in a matter of moments. I'm literally at a loss on this, but I'm going to cut it at that. That's just draft night shit. 6 quarterbacks in one round, first time since '83. I just hope that the Broncos are able to benefit from that the same way they did back then. But man, just the problems, and I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't get these things. Maybe that's just me, and this is literally me having slept on it. I don't know. I'm done on all this.